Hey everyone, I'm Rdebruys. This is Summoner Wars, and today I've got a league game for you. This is myself and Watered. I'm the Vanguard, he's the Fallen Kingdom. This is week 2, actually the second game that we played of the matchup in the Summoner Wars League. As you can see, Sera started, but Rhett is already gaining a bit of position in the midfield. I respond, I set up a gate on the one side, I execute Holy Judgment. Specific reason for that is I like it when I have 4 melee attack dice versus a 3 health unit. Even if I didn't manage to destroy that carrier there, I did manage to kind of wipe the field, and Rdebruys obviously responds here. For those who don't know, Sera typically likes fighting her battles in the midfield. That seems to be where Sera is the most effective. Often you might want to hang back a little bit and gain a little bit of magic so that you can do a big Renewed Hope turn. I use Renewed Hope here. As you can see, I'm sitting on 7 magic. I was building up my magic very aggressively to start the game. I was obviously worried that Rhett could do the same. Rdebruys has the ability with Blood Summon and his own power to explode out of his own end and do a ton of damage. So you got to be careful of that. That's why I felt it was important to aggressively build. Here I've set up a very strong fortification. The idea here with creating a flat line like that is to hold off a big purge turn. At the very least, if the enemies only have one direction in which to attack, then that limits the amount of damage they can do. It discourages the opponent from executing a big purge turn and wiping out all of my units. As you can see, Valna Stoutheart ate some damage there without attacking. I normally don't like summoning units if they're not going to attack that same turn, or at least do something. Valna's different because on the following turn, she's going to give me an extra 2 cards. I'm actually sitting on a Renewed Hope, so I know that I'm going to want those extra 2 cards the following turn just in case. And that opportunity actually does present itself. Here I've got Guardian Spirits. It's going to be very hard to do anything about my high health Guardian Knights standing side by side. Valna's going to take no damage, luckily. Goldass, I think Watered would say, was a mistake. I'll show you why later. There's a big thing coming up here, though. I use Renewed Hope. Notice what's going on. I have Valna on one side, the Paladin on the other. I put the wall there, and then I move the Archer in front. I get Holy Judgment, and all I need is to eliminate, and I have a clean shot at Rdebruys. And I have enough cards that I can put 4 dice on them. And I, of course, whiff. As you can see from the video, we're not even halfway through it. That was a mistake on Watered's part. More times than not would have cost him the game. I don't know, he must not have seen what was going to happen there, must not have thought about Renewed Hope. Obviously, summoning the gate and then putting a unit on top of that is what enabled that to happen. So here I am. I've surrounded Goldass. Now Valna's right next to Goldass, but Goldass can't do a thing about it because he's got to deal with that Guardian Knight. And that Guardian Knight is parked inside my formation, and Goldass has nowhere to go. You might be wondering why I call them Guardian Knights. I'm just used to Summoner Wars 1st Edition. Valna's slowly taking more damage. I've already used both Renewed Hopes, so it's not the end of the world. I'm already at the bottom of my deck, actually. Looking at that, I've only got 4 cards. He's got a 5-card edge on me at this point, but I've got a lot of units on the board, to be sure. In fact, at various points in the game, I had all 5 of my Guardian Knights in play. Here comes not the best purge turn in the world. You see Dragos drops. Now, Dragos has to do something about that Paladin because of where that Paladin is next to Red Talus, and that was deliberate on my part. What I do here, once again, I get my Guardian Knights, and there's all 5 Guardian Knights. They're preventing his champs from attacking my champ, and it really doesn't matter because now Dragos is just eating so much damage. The following turn, he's going to have a hard time finishing off that Citadel Knight, and he has to in order to take a shot at Valna, who only has 1 health at this point. So Sacrificial Pyre is played. Purge is used. It's going to take out that Citadel Knight for 3 damage. Goldass is forced to take on that one side. And it just wasn't quite enough to stop that knight. Of course, with Dragos in tow it is. Here, however, is another opportunity that I could have had to finish this game. Look where Red Talus is. This was a really tough call on my part, actually. What I was thinking initially is if Valna takes out with her 3 dice the 2 health Dragos and my archer gets a shot, if I had burned Colleen and I had burned 1 more unit, I would have had 3 dice on that 2 health Red Talus. I could have won the game there. I estimate I had about a 70% chance. Instead, I decided I didn't want to burn Colleen, and I would take a chance with 2 dice. As it turns out, I only did 1 damage, not the 2 that I needed. There's only an 8% chance that I missed that shot. And you know what? The archer wouldn't have clicked on it anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. In hindsight, however, knowing what I know now, I probably would have taken that shot anyway and lost the game, because Rhett's got 5 health. He's got a carrier on the board. He's got enough units that he can actually turn the tide. At this point here, we're getting well beyond the distance that most games go. I decide it's time to start working on Goldass. Once again, Goldass is trapped. He has no choice but to hit 1 target with his 7 dice, and that's my Guardian Knight. Here, Colleen eats some damage. I'm okay with that. Goldass is I'm gonna take him out the next turn. Colleen gets 4 damage here. It hurts, but she's still got enough life to stay in the fight. I move up that priestess, who's actually been with me since the start of the game. That was the original priestess that I swept behind my starting gate on the first turn. There goes Goldass. Colleen is my champ. She went 3 for 3 many times this game. She definitely earned her money's worth here. Rhett drops another warrior. Here comes Elat Bal. Elat Bal is going to run into the same issue. See, the Guardian can't do anything about Colleen there, so they have to rely on the warrior to go 4 for 4, and the warrior only goes 3 for 4. And now Colleen defends the Guardian Knight on the other side. So here I move once again. I'm going to make it very hard to do damage to Colleen. And I start working on Elat Bal. He's got no choice. This turn he can actually take either Guardian Knight out. So I could easily lose 1. I won't lose both. And I think what happens instead He wants to go, and then Colleen protects that Guardian Knight. Goes 4 with 5 dice, not 5 with 6 dice. Rhett does manage to take out the Guardian Knight on the other side, who Colleen is not protecting, and drops another carrier. Here's where I make a critical mistake. Watch where that Knight goes, and then watch where Colleen goes. All I had to do was move that Knight 1 space down. Instead, after killing this carrier, I'm going to leave a line of units, and that carrier can just go attack, attack, attack. I would lose 3 units, and Rhett would gain 3, and all he's got to do is go 2 for 2, and he does not. He only goes 1. Probably a 30% chance. I had a 30% chance to survive that turn. 70% of the time I lose 3 units and he gains 3, and he probably wins the game, especially at this late stage. Instead, it goes to me. I get another Citadel Knight out there. I still have Colleen for now, and I continue to use Sera's power. Sera's still full health, amazingly, at this late stage in the game. I can thank my Guardian Knights for that. The undead are very melee heavy, and yes, they have undead archers. I didn't see many of them this game. I can't even remember one. Right now we're just going through the motions. I knew as soon as that carrier was finished, it was going to be over for Rdebruys. He's got no health left to summon any new ones. The same kind of goes for Sera. You've got to be careful not to run out of Citadel Knights, because once you do, or any Citadel units, she can't use her power anymore. So you know, if you finish off her Knights on the board and there are none in her hand, it's over. Of course, that didn't happen here. This was just going through the motions and finished it. I'm not going to miss this one. This game is over. Again, I had 2 chances to win earlier than this one, and Watered had 1 big chance. Anyway, GG, thanks for watching.